Hi guys, welcome or welcome back. It's another Bryt Diaries today, so let's jump straight in. Okay, so today's Bryt Diaries, if you haven't already, by the way, subscribe, press the bell icon, you know the drill. If you are new here, basically we're going through the basic training of the puppy Bryt. If you haven't already, go ahead and watch the first one, which I will link above right now, because that lays out how I trained the dog, so that can be really useful to see. This episode of Bryt Diaries is all about the down. Let's jump straight in. So obviously to start with, make sure that you've got some really yummy snacks. Cheese is fine, I'm using kibble as per normal. It's kind of standard here at the moment. So this is very, very early days. Tiny little poopy, doing it kind of like a lure. So all I'm doing is cupping the treat in my hand and then holding it. And what I want is for her to kind of snuffle through it. And sort of as she's sort of snuffling through that, she then lies down. So just like that, her legs touch the ground. And actually, usually you get it's kind of like in a bit of a strop, like they're huffing, but they do actually lie down. So different session, different day now, just the same thing over and over again. So my click and reward comes as soon as her body is on the ground. I like to have the chest down, but I'm not picky when they're this little because they don't have good body control. That was a really, really nice down that we cheated there. So that's the super reward. And then as you're kind of going along, you can throw the treats out in between to get them to sort of reset and come back. Either way, you just need them to be stood back up to drop back into a down. So when you're happy that the puppy knows kind of what you're talking about, then you can start adding the verbal. So do that for a couple of sessions. And then I usually just test my verbal in the middle of a session.
There you go. Down. Yes, wow.
Like that. So as soon as she does that, then that was a jackpot reward. And after that point, then it just becomes a game of how many times can you do a down and reset backwards and forwards. So I'm using treats, throwing them out to reset her. She can come back and I ask her the behaviour again. And she does it perfectly. When she's confident doing that, then it's time to start standing up. Like last time with the sit, it's best to go for kneeling first, but she did really well with this anyway. So sometimes she obviously can get excited and be a bit wiggly. That is fine. Just let them work it all out. So I've moved her around and I'm asking for the behaviour. But she did it before I asked, which was a bit sneaky if we're being honest. Then we asked her outside, so we made it a bit easier, used the hand again to help her into the down. And when she was happily offering that down behaviour, then I made sure that I was just standing up and just using the verbal alone, to which she got it perfectly. So at this stage, she's been doing it down for a few days and we start to move it onto an object. So I've just used a raised bed in this situation, in the same boring room, because it's a change of a variable. And when she's confidently popping up onto there, turning around and lying down, then we kind of know that she's ready to add a little bit of the 3D. So I added a little bit of distance by sitting back and it made sure that it was super easy for her to do the right thing. Then we tested it outside. So we popped her up onto another object, not a raised bed. This time it was a log. We had a super spotter there. That's Joe from Wild Air Portraits, who was there on hand to make sure that she was super safe all the time. And I asked her to do her behaviour, which she did. And she did it so well. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe, press the bell icon, follow us on Instagram as well if you want to. That would be cool. And I will see you all again really, really, really soon.